Kalaya.
Kalaya.
Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Baraklanawa. Wayasharala. Wahabiyat Saparium. Shema. Yasharallah.
Yasharallah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Allah Hayanawa.
Allah Haynawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aka.
Aka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Ba'ashai.
Baraklanawa.
Baraklanawa.
Wayasharala.
Yasharallah.
Wahabiyat Saparium.
Rabia Saparium.
Shema
Shema.
Yasharallah
Yasharallah.
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Aka Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Aka Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Aka Kalaya Kalaya. Praise the mighty Yah, because he's worthy to be praised. Hallelujah. It's the Ten Commandments in the Hebrew. Somebody can get that for me in Exodus 20, Baba Kashal. We're going to start from the third verse after the Hebrew. And whoever's reading it, you could just come up here and grab the mic on the side. Baba Kashal. La Yahaya, Laka, Alahayam, Akayam, Al, Panya, La'a, Da'aisha, Lacha, Pasal, Wala'a, Da'ibandam, La'a, Dalakwakaf, Sham, Yahweh, Bashawa, Zarka, Hayawam, Hashabaf, Lakwadashwa, Kabad, Abaka, Ya'amaka, La'a, Daratazak, La'a, Dana'ap, La'a, Daganab, La'a, Da'aina, Shakor, La'a, Dakamad, Kal, Ashara, Laka'ira, Dawada, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Aman. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that which is in earth beneath, or that which is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold them guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But on the seventh day is the Shabbat day of the Lord thy God, and in it there shall not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the stranger that's within thy gates. Verse 12. Honor thy father and mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. Amen. Kalaya. Lord's Prayer. Somebody get that Matthew 6 and 9. Abba Yanoah, Shabbat Shemayim,
Qudash, Haya, Shimka, Yahweh, Malakwafka, Daba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lacham, Kau, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawafyanawa, Wala'a, Dabayanawa, Banasayawan, Abo, Hawashainawa, Man, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Waha'ala, Wahadaparaf, Laiwalumyam, Man.
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debits as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Con, beautiful. Get the most high hand. Everybody can have a seat. Shawpa's gonna do the first joint with me, and then we're gonna need somebody else to take his place where he get on the grill. Benjamin said nobody else is getting on his grill in his house. So we're gonna start Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Anybody know what we celebrating? First fruits. What is first fruits also known as? What else is it known as? Con. So the Most High deal with aliases. You know, every feast they got an alias. He got many names. Not names, titles. You know, the same thing with Israel. We're known as Zion, Israel, Jerusalem. You know, so we deal with aliases. That's how you know the Most High deal with you know that we dealing with a people that's ours. Jay got mad aliases. You got Junebug. His nickname is Junie. Jay.
H.O.I.
Yeah, H.R. You know, all types of stuff. Jay got mad aliases. How many Jay-Z got? Jigga Man, right? Hove. So that's just the spirit in Israel, man. And that goes back to the gun. It goes back to the scriptures. So you want to start off with Leviticus 23.
Before I make this point, right? Whether y'all know it or not, the Feast of First Fruits or the Feast of Weeks is the only feast day with not a direct date. Right? You have your Sabbaths, you have your new moons, right? But when it comes to like our high holy days, though, right? The Hanukkah falls in a certain month on a certain date. The Passover falls on what, the first month, the 14th day. Okay? Right? The Tabernacles falls on a certain month and a certain date. But when it comes to the first fruits, it's never a certain date. It's always what? 7 weeks after the Passover, on the 50th day. So it doesn't have a direct date. Whatever day the Passover falls on, your first fruits is going to be 7 weeks after. Y'all understand? Like the David told me, it's on a certain month and a certain date, right? Rosh Hashanah, right? The memorial blowing the trumpets on a certain day, on a certain date. That never changes. But when it comes to the first fruits, it always depends on when the Passover falls. It's always 7 weeks or 50 days after the Passover. That's why they call it the Feast of Weeks, aka the Pentecost, right? Because when you go into the Greek, penta, right? Just like pentagram is 5 points, right? Or what else it goes with penta is a 5.
Pentecost means 50.
Pentecost means 50, but things with pent or penta it goes in 5, right?
Pentagram.
Pentagram, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Pentagon.
yeah, that goes into 5. So Pentecost, it makes 50 because it's 50 days after Passover. And now on the evening, we're falling on the evening. This is the 50th day after the Passover. Con? Right, so I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, shed light on that. The Pentecost or the Feast of Weeks or the first fruits, it's always 50 days after the Passover. So does it have a direct date? It's directly connected to the Passover. Con? So when a Christian be like, I didn't celebrate Passover, but then you see them celebrating Pentecost, you already know they have no understanding.
It's like, if I could, and that's because it's dealing with the harvest during the spring equinox. That's why it doesn't have a date. Because Passover, the first month of the 14th day, doesn't have it's not the same when it comes to the spring. You see what I'm saying? So when you number 50 days during the spring equinox, that's the whole point of it.
God. Yeah. So we could tell the dates more if brothers had some farmers, and knew seen the stuff growing and dealt like that. Just like the moon cycles, what part of the month it is when you see the moon. The quarter, the first slither, of course, after the dark moon. The half moon is the middle of the month. So you can tell by dealing with the elements of the Most High, but we're not in our element. We're coming back to it. So eventually, once we get on the land, we can understand a little bit more of how these things work, because we all come from inner cities, or we just, wherever. Even if you was out here in the South, a lot of y'all brothers really ain't country like that. Well, y'all country, but not in the country. Y'all ain't never dealt like that.
Y'all not in the sticks.
Right. So we gonna all learn together and YouTube everything. You know what I'm saying? Unless the Most High bless us with a farmer, which would be great.
I'm working it out. I'm practicing.
Con, you see his little stuff over there.
I'm practicing.
Con. So let's start from Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, and let's start from the 15th verse.
Yeah.
So y'all know this is after Passover, of course. You want me to read it? And you want to go over it? I'll read it. Yeah. I'll read this, and then you want to hit it? Okay, come. So this is Leviticus 23 and 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morning, Shalakia, and ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Shabbat, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of your wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
So after the Passover, right? After the Pesach, right? Going into the week of unleavened bread, after the first Sabbath after that Passover, our ancestors used to wave the sheaf and have the offering to signify that they're about to start counting, right? For the first fruits, 7 weeks, right? They used to call it the barley season, right? So that's what they used to do. They used to wave their offering and then start counting from there after the Sabbath. You're not supposed to count, the day after the Pesach. The Pesach, let's say if the Pesach falls 3 days before the Sabbath, you're supposed to start counting after the Sabbath. It's 7 weeks after the Sabbath.
Right.
Right? So that's what they did. After the 7 weeks after the Sabbath is complete, that's when you fall upon your first fruits. 7 times 7 is 49. When it hit that 49th day, prepare for the first fruits. That evening fall, that makes 50. That's the Pentecost, right?
And everything is symbolic. When you go into the scriptures, not everything, but most things are symbolic. So a lot of times the sheaf, it was also used from wheat. So that goes and represents the wheat and the tares also.
Huh.
You see, so that's what the priest was waving. All right. 16th verse. Even unto the morrow after the seventh Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Most High.
And it says after the morrow, right, on that 50th day, right, the Pentecost, the 50, right, supposed to offer a meat offering unto the Most High. So people, they get caught up in the title first fruits and just think it's just all about fruits. No, it's about the firstling, the first of your sacrifices, your greatest sacrifice you can make unto the Most High. That's what it's about. This is why on the first account of first fruits, right, on the first account of first fruits, there was a conflict between two people, right? The brothers that already talked to me about this before the lesson, don't say nothing, right? But when was the first account of first fruits? It's in the book of Genesis. Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. You got that right, Caleb. Caleb with the right answer. Next time, say. Right. So, who want to pull the precept on that? It's in Genesis chapter 4. When Cain and Abel had to bring the first of their flocks and the first of the offerings to the Most High. Who want to pull that? Yeah, like the first fruits is very spiritual. Like Joseph saved. Am I saying right? Is it Joseph or Joshua? It's Joshua. No, huh?
Save Egypt?
Joseph saved Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Joseph saved Egypt out of the spirit of the first fruits too. If y'all look into it, he practiced the way he learned from the first fruits and how to harvest is the same way how he saved Egypt. And that's why Ephraim came out of Joseph, Aparium, the fruitful one. It's all symbolic, like Ephraim said. You know what I'm saying? So, well, let's go into the account of Cain and Abel. Who got it? What verse you starting at? Verse 7?
Start at 3?
Yeah, start at 3.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and an offering unto the Lord.
Right? He got the fruit from the ground, an offering unto the Lord, right? Read.
Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
He did what?
He also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
And that's the first fruits. So that lets you know that the laws from the beginning.
Right.
So when a Christian scoff and talk about, oh, those laws only came with Moses, he doesn't know this Bible. Right? These laws were from the beginning. Right? Moses just wrote it in stone because we are hard-headed people. Right? Actually, Yahweh wrote it in stone for Moses because we are hard-headed people. Because if you look in Exodus, it says those laws was written by the finger of God. Right? Read on.
Of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and unto his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Right? Cain was very wroth and his countenance fell because the Most High God respected the firstling of Abel's flock instead of Cain's. Read on.
And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
What lieth at the door?
Sin lieth at the door.
Now what is sin? Who could pull that precept?
Bring it out.
What's sin? Come on, sharpen them swords, quick on them swords. What's sin?
Bring it out.
Take off that hat before you bring it out, King.
This is 1 John chapter 1, verse 3. Whosoever, wait a minute, 1 John 3 and 4.
1 John 3 and 4.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
Sin is the transgression of the law. Right? So, if Cain sinned, what did he transgress?
The law.
He transgressed that law. So I show you that the law was there from the beginning. And the first fruits is actually the first high holy day recorded in the Bible. Right?
Yeah, well, after the Shabbat.
Yeah. Because the Shabbat is a part of Leviticus 23. Yeah, Salakia, the Shabbat is the first one recorded. We don't care.
And unto thee.
That's it on that.
Okay.
That's it on that.
You said read on.
I was talking to you, Salakia.
Oh.
16th verse.
Jump to 18.
Leviticus 23, verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year.
You see that? So meat is part of the first fruits offering too. Right? 7 lambs without blemish. That's why I'm gonna roast up some lamb after I do this with Ephraim, man. Don't think it's just lamb on the Passover. Have some lamb for the first fruits too, man. All right, read on.
1 young bullock and 2 rams, and they shall be for a burnt offering unto the Most High, with their meat offering and their drink offering, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Most High. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Most High for the priest. And ye shall proclaim on this self same day that it may be a holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
And it says it should be a statute forever. Right? So if they tell you that the laws are done away with, they're lying. Because these statutes are statutes forever throughout our dwellings. So if someone come out with that doctrine saying you got to be in Israel, right, to celebrate these days, or tell them to take a flight over there and digest a nuke from Hamas. Tell them digest the next rocket from Hamas, right? Because that's what's going down over there, right? It says no matter what your dwelling is, celebrate this. So brothers want to take a $500, right, trip to Israel.
$1,000.
Right, $1,000 trip to Israel, and also have to take a damn COVID shot to get back. Right, just to get a damn missile from Hamas. Okay, there you go on that. Right?
One more on that. 22nd verse. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field, where thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Most High, your power.
So the Most High God, you see, there's a law, and it shows you that when it comes to our society, not the society set up by Esau. Now, I'm going to continue saying Esau because I got neighbors and we on the speaker, right? But according to Esau, hey, if you pour, that's it. But according to Yahweh, you leave provisions for the poor. You leave the corners of your field not bare. You don't bear the corners of your field. You leave that for the poor. So if you had like a field and you was growing things, what you would do is you'll reap the whole field besides the corners. You'll sell it. You'll eat from it. But then if the poor or the stranger, a person sojourning, they could come through and pick off that because that'll be mercy. You understand? The Most High God is big on mercy. That's why the song of the 3 holy children says, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, because his mercies endure forever.
And that's just to show you how opposite this society is. Because you got even, the fast food restaurants, McDonald's and all of that. They'll throw all the food that's left over outside. Some restaurants, they don't even allow the employees to take the food that's left. And they say, no, it got to go into the garbage. So that's just to show you this society is totally against the Most High. They don't have no compassion or mercy on the poor. And the Most High tell you, if you don't have no compassion on the poor, he not gonna have no compassion on you.
Salaki, y'all. Salaki, y'all. If someone could light the rest of those tiki torches,
Yeah, these bugs is
killing us.
yeah, these bugs is crazy.
They came out of nowhere.
These are the Atlanta bugs right here. Huh?
Outside.
Yeah, come on, y'all.
I was just gonna let me back on you when it's talking about thou shalt not neither shalt thou gather any gleaning. The gleaning is leftover.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to grab that either.
Come on, yeah.
Just to let me back on what you were saying.
Come on, and that's also is part of your tithes. That's part of your tithes to it's crops. You leave some, not only you give everything to the Levites, but you leave some for the poor. The Most High take care of his people.
Is the fluid already in there, or you gotta put the fluid in?
Some tiki oil.
Put the oil in.
Oil's right there. Oil's right there, you see?
So we gonna jump to Deuteronomy.
Not the red one. The red one is
Salakia.
Salaki.
We're gonna jump to Deuteronomy, the 16th chapter, and we're gonna start from the ninth verse. Deuteronomy 16:9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee, beginning to the number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Most High your power, with a tribute of a free will offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Most High your power, according as the Most High thy power have blessed thee.
And after the 7 weeks, right? Because it breaks it down right here. And Deuteronomy chapter 16, that is 7 weeks, right? Right, that's why it goes into Pentecost. 7 times 7 is 49, right? And when you do that, right, on the 50th day, you celebrate the Pentecost, and that's where you brought up the offerings unto the Most High. Like, when you reach verse 16, it shows you that there's 3 times a year that the Most High God requires you to come through and sacrifice for him. Like when it comes to Passover, right now, Pentecost, and Tabernacles, listen, man, I go all in for the Most High. I don't care if I get backed up on a bill, because guess what? The Most High God is going to repay you for that. That's in Proverbs 3, right? Proverbs 3 and 8. So someone pull Proverbs 3 and 8 right now.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 8. It shall be health to thy navel.
Read verse 9.
Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase.
That's what it is. For honor the Lord thy God with thy substance and the first fruits of all thy increase. Whatever the Most High blessed you with, supposed to make sure you bless him on these high holy days, especially tabernacles, first fruits, Passover. Mandatory. Read on. Read on, King. Read verse 10.
Proverbs?
Yeah, read verse 10.
Oh, select.
Verse 10 is the kicker.
Verse 10. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine.
You see that? He said, if you do the sacrifice unto the Most High, the first fruits of your offering, if you sacrifice for these high holy days, the Most High God is going to bless you with plenty in your barn, and your barrel shall bust with wine. That's the Most High God giving you the double up on the re-up. You feel me? You invest in the Most High God, he investing in you. Con? Proverbs 3, 9, and 10. Don't bring my tiki torches now, Lamech. Man.
And also, you know, certain things that people went through back in the ancient times, just like, you know, if a person get leprosy, if a person is you know, went from, you know, the story of Job, they was always they was questioning him like, yo, what you doing, man? You did something, you know. So a lot of times the Most High exposes what's going on. Like if a person, sometimes if a person's always crying broke, but and you see it in the world. You see Jake out there. He's always broke, but he always got money for some liquor. He always got money for some weed. You know what I'm saying? He's Ubering it back and forth to see a chick. You know, but then he's telling you, yo, damn, my phone got cut off, my light bill got cut off, because you being stingy and you supporting your own habits. Your man asks you for a dollar. You in the store getting a hero, and he $1 short. He want to get a hero, and you said nah, you don't got it, but then he see you walk into the liquor store. So sometimes when you move like that, the Most High keep you broke, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you won't be. You'll get your daily bread, but certain things won't add up. So when
we get above that, you know what I'm saying?
right, you stay on that hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to how you moving, because the Most High know. We don't know, but you know sometimes you see it. You know if a brother going through hard times, cool, but damn, you ain't even bring a damn juice to the feast day, man. You know what I'm saying? A pack of napkins or something. So y'all got to look into that, because the more you give, the Most High gonna bless you with the more. All right. So let's go back to Deuteronomy the 16th chapter. Is there more on that? Yeah, come, the 10th verse. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord thy God. I said this one already, right? No. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, let's read it again. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Most High thy power, with a tribute, a free will offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Most High thy power, according as the Most High thy power have blessed thee. And that's what we just read in Proverbs 3 and 9 and 10.
Jump to verse 16.
You want to go jump to 16?
Yes.
Deuteronomy 16:16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Most High thy power, in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Most High empty.
Like I just said, and like the brother just landed backed on, you're not supposed to appear on these days empty. Listen, if you got $2 in your pocket, spend $1 on a big bottle of water and bring it to the feast day. The Most High God gonna bless you for it. You understand? Like these are the 3 days, right? The tabernacles, the feast of weeks, and the Passover. Those are the 3 times you were not supposed to be cheap, my dude. Right? Dude don't want to spend no money on the Passover, but he got all the fresh kicks in the world. You know what I'm saying? Dude don't want to spend no money on the Passover, but then he got the new dubs on the car. Dude don't want to spend no money on the first fruits, but then now he taking a trip to Hawaii.
Always got the new 2K.
Yeah, always got the new 2K. Got the new Xbox in the house right now. So this is what we dealing with, man. The Most High God, he don't deal with that. You got to not come empty on these days. Read verse 17.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 17. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee.
And every man shall give as he is able, according to how the Most High God has blessed him. As long as Yahweh bless you, and you receive something, you got a new job, you got a new car, you got a new rig, you know what I'm saying? You done came into the truth. Coming into the truth is a blessing. You're supposed to be celebrating this, because the Most High God done blessed you. So yeah, give according to your blessings, man. Don't be stingy with the Most High, man.
Con, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, come on. 20, 22?
Con, 22 and 29.
22, 21.
I got, yeah, Con, I got all of those right there. I'm gonna line them up. I'll read them for you. Con.
Yeah, I mean, this is about to be your first fruit starter pack, man. Ephraim got the lesson laid out.
Exodus 22, verse 29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits, and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me.
Right? The Most High God, He's demanding, right? On the first fruits, you offer the first of your harvest, the first of your flock, and guess what? Also your firstborn. He wants your firstlings, man. This is why it was also symbolic for Isaac. Was it Isaac? Isaac to almost be sacrificed, man. Because, the Most High God said, will you offer up your son to me? And when Abraham showed that he was ready to sacrifice Isaac, God said, no, I'm not going to take him in death. I'm going to take him in life. And I'm going to continue on your bloodline and continue on the blessing through Isaac. Because he offered up his son as a firstling, right? The first of his flock. Con? What's the next one we got, King?
Con is also symbolic to who? Besides Isaac. Yahushua. Yahushua was the first fruits of the Most High.
First creation.
Right? He was his first creation, his firstborn. I'm just gonna y'all can mark it down if y'all want to, but this is a Hebrews. We're gonna go back to this in a bit, but Hebrews chapter 1 verse 6. Right? It says, and again, and you can read from the first verse, he's talking about Yahushua. And he says, and again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he saith, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him. So he gave him the power over the angels. You see, so that was his firstborn, and guess what the Most High did? He sacrificed his firstborn for us. So that was his first fruit for us. That's why we owe the Most High all of our first fruits. And that's the symbolic and the symbolism behind this also. Remember, Yahushua is this whole book. So just understand that that's the symbolism also to this. Besides your blessings. All right. The next verse we're gonna go to Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 35. Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 35. And to bring the first fruits of our ground, and the first fruits of all trees, year by year, unto the house of the Most High, also the firstborn of our sons and our cattle, as it is written in the law, and the firstlings of our herds and of our flocks, to bring to the house of our power Yahweh, unto the priest that minister in the house of our God.
And you see Nehemiah, who was a mighty man of the Most High, man. You gotta read into Nehemiah, right? He was a mighty warrior for the Most High God. And, he said we doing this according to what? The law, right? The mighty men of our bloodline, of our heritage, of our culture, they always went back to the law and they performed these righteous acts. They rehearsed these righteous acts, right? He celebrated the first fruits and made sure everybody offered up the firstlings, the first flock, the first harvest, everything according to the laws that was given to the Most High, Salaki, that was given to us from the Most High through the hands of Moses.
37th verse. And that we should bring the first fruits of our dough and our offerings, and the fruit of all manner of trees, of wine, and of oil, unto the priest, to the chambers of the house of our God, and the tithes of our ground unto the Levites, that the same Levites might have the tithes in all the cities of our tillage.
And he said that happens through all the cities of their tillage, right? Their tillage, that means wherever they're harvesting at, wherever they till the ground at, whatever they do their husbandry at, right? Whatever they do their farming at, whatever they cultivate the land, right? When you come into this truth, people will say that you're in a cult. No, you're cultivating your culture. That's what you're doing, right? When they say cult, they only cutting the word short. This ain't no cult. We're cultivating our culture. We're harvesting the first fruits of the Most High. We're harvesting back our nationality. We're harvesting the minds of the people. We're harvesting what? The good sheep, man. Like the good shepherd's supposed to be. Read on.
That's it on that. We're gonna jump to Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 30. And it reads, and the first of all the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of every sort of your oblations shall be the priests. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that ye may cause the blessing to rest in thine house.
And when you come to the priest, right? The priest of the Most High God, right? Right now we are under the order of Melchizedek, so right now we are a nation of kings and priests. So when we gather together, right? You see us do this, man. Right? We offering our dough, our substance, our firstlings, our body as a living sacrifice. First thing I got up in the morning and I did things to prepare for today. Right? You got to offer up that sacrifice unto the Most High so them blessings can remain in your house. Okay?
And mind you, he says of all things, so even the wine, I know certain brothers see it sometimes, Jake do it in the world for the dead homies, but once again, it's spiritual. Jake, sometimes they do things they don't understand. It's in your spirit to do things, but that first drop of them liquors, it's really supposed to be for the Most High. You see, so that's don't. I mean, you pour what you want to pour, but you ain't got to pour the whole thing. Just pour. Huh? What's going on over there? Y'all know what y'all doing? Who went on that grill? See, we got the rule: no women on the grill. Women in the kitchen, not in the grill. About to burn the first fruits. God, so we're gonna jump real quick to Romans 11 and 16. Romans 11 and 16. I know people's restless. It's been a long day. Certain brothers went to camp. Certain brothers didn't. Certain brothers was preparing, watching the ribs prepare.
You said Romans 11?
Romans 11 verse 16. And this is the classic, of course, that we always use for the Passover, right? It says, if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. So that's what just like your firstborn. Your firstborn is supposed to be are well versed and well learned in these scriptures, so he could teach the rest of the children when you're not home, and he could be that role model. He could be, that's part of that sacrifice when the Most High talk about your firstborn, and it more than likely is your firstborn male. The girls could be the firstborn, but it goes to the firstborn male. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna come up here? So that's what that first fruit is, and of course is the top of the list. Just like if you 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 have babies with a dog or any animal, that first litter is the strongest litter, and usually the last one is usually the runt, and they don't got that strength. Just like we all men here. I know sisters listening, but the dogs when they or a male when they lose their virginity, you got that. If you wasn't playing with yourself, you got that pure sperm. That's solid sperm. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a solid child. Or solid pet, solid animal. All right. What they say is you backed up. That lump is backed up. It's gonna be pure. You coming back out? Come. So let's go to First Corinthians. Yeah, these bugs is crazy.
Alright.
First Corinthians 15 and 20. And this is gonna go back again to showing Yahweh Shah is that first fruit.
This is
15 and 20.
this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 20.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 20. But now is Christ risen from the dead, and and became the first fruits of them that slept.
Right. So, Elijah, who was it? Elijah or Elisha? They raised somebody from the dead, but nobody. It was Ezekiel, and Elisha, or it was Elisha also, or Elijah. Well, it's happened in the past, but nobody has ever defeated death themselves. You see what I'm saying? It took a prophet for them to get risen up. So Yahweh Shah was the first one to defeat death himself. He didn't need a prophet to come and pray over him and do a ritual that the Most High gave. Because even Elisha and Elijah, they had to do something besides Yahweh Shah. What Yahweh Shah do? When Yahweh Shah told Lazarus, "Come, wake up, rise," that was it. Elisha, I don't know who was it. Look that up, somebody, Baba Kashar, Elisha or Elijah. They had to do a certain ritual. It wasn't by the power of their words. You know what I'm saying? That power that Yahweh Shah had, it was a different element from all the prophets. They all had power. Elisha and Elijah had some power. But that power that Yahweh Shah was different. And he had to contain it. You see what I'm saying? He had to contain all that power. So that's where it's talking about. And if Yahweh Shah be not, wait, what was that scripture again? 15 and 20. It says, but now is Yahweh Shah risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that slept. So he was the first one to do it. He did the Ray J. He hit it first. All right. A couple more on this, and then we're gonna switch the topics. Even though there's a lot more to go into it, but let's go into 2 Chronicles 31 and 5. Come. Con. Go to Tobit first. Tobit 2 and 1. And Tobit kept the feast day outside of Jerusalem. So that cuts that doctrine too.
This is Tobit, chapter 2, verse 1. Now, when I was come home again, and my wife Anna were restored unto me, with my son Tobias, in the feast of Pentecost, which is the holy feast day of the 7 weeks. There was a great dinner prepared, me, in the which I sat down to eat. And when I saw abundance of meat, I said unto my son, Go and bring what poor man soever that thou shalt find out of our brethren, who is mindful of the Lord, and lo, I tarry for thee.
Salakia, you see that he celebrated the Pentecost, right? And it says the feast of 7 weeks. But also, he had abundance of food, and he said what? Go find a poor man of your brethren, which also goes to the law when they said what? Save the corners for the poor. So Toby kept the law really like on some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like what Christians always want to go through and feed the poor, this is where they get it from.
But he did just say of your brethren.
He says your brethren.
He didn't just say
That's
go
who
give
you
it to
love.
a poor person.
That's who you love.
Right. He said give it to your brethren.
Your brethren. Who's your brethren?
Right. Your people. Your people.
What's the precept?
Leviticus 19:17. Right.
19:17 to 18.
That's definitely a key right there. That's just to show you he wasn't going out there and say, yo, just find a poor Edomite out the trailer park and come in here and give him some food. Nah, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you do that, you know, you still ain't coming to the full understanding of these scriptures. You still don't have that full love for your own yet. You understand? Because you worried about every Tom, Dick, and Harry while they can give a damn about us. You know, Michael Jackson said it best. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. You understand? So, yeah, worry about your own. All right? 2 Chronicles 31:5, Baba Bashar.
Can I add to that too?
Come.
Just you got to take the example of how you look out for your son before you even look out for us. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna do for your son before you try to do for anybody. So we have to, like in Israel, we got to look out for each other like we're you know what I'm saying, like we really, you know, because we really are brothers and sisters. So we really gotta, you know, like how you look at your children, your daughter, you gotta look at your brother like that. Not the person down the street, not the Edomite down the street, but that person that looks just like you. The reason we doing that is so that we can have people that look like us later on in the future. Because if we try to mix with everybody, then there will be no Ephraimites, there will be no Judites, there will be no Levites. Everybody will be a collage.
And even deeper, to take it a further step, is try to look out for a commandment keeper first. You know a brother that's going through it in hard times, you know, look out for that brother. You know, send them alms if you're gonna send any alms. If you got some extra cans of beans, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta offer that to somebody, whoever need it. I got so many damn beans and tuna fish for my ribs wick, you know what I'm saying, for the baby. I gotta get rid of that damn thing. That thing is taking up my damn pantry, man. I got so many Goya beans and tuna fish.
Goya?
Yeah, man. I gotta share those with somebody.
Is the tuna clean?
Yeah, tuna's clean.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Con.
Microscopic.
Yeah.
Mine
He
come
said
in
scale.
can. I never seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's scale.
Right. Yeah, we're not gonna go into tuna fish now. Then the next question is gonna be, is chicken clean? And then Judah gonna get up and leave. You know what I'm saying? You tell Judah chicken is unclean. Judah ain't trying to hear the Bible. All right.
You might starve a whole household. That's the cheapest you can get.
God. 2 Chronicles 31:5, Baba Bashar.
This is 2 Chronicles chapter 31, verse 5. And as soon as the commandment came abroad, the children of Israel brought in abundance the first fruits of corn, wine, and oil, and honey,
and of all the increase of the field, and the tithe of all things brought they in abundance.
Con. No, that's it on that. We're gonna jump to real quick to and you see they brought in abundance, man. Because the Most High blessed us. We're gonna go to Numbers 18 and 12, and then we're gonna wind it down with this and head into the regeneration of Solomon real quick. Uh, Numbers 18 and 12, Baba Kashar. They're just going a little bit more intel of what you're supposed to be bringing too. Don't you bring what you can afford, but you know what I'm saying. Don't bring. You got some fruits or some vegetables laying on your counter and it got mold on it, and you like, yo, I'm gonna just bring this because this is all I can afford. Don't bring that. You understand? Don't bring that. Don't bring some expired meats. Yo, man, I had it in the fridge. I think it's still good.
First fruits I bought this week though.
Right, yeah, I bought it though. Jake gonna have that. That's gonna tell you here in Numbers.
This is Numbers chapter 8, 18, verse 12. All the best of oil, and all the best of wine, and of wheat, the first fruits of them, which they shall offer unto the Lord, them shall I have given thee.
Okay, read the next one.
And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat of it.
God, so the Most High want that top, that cream of the crop. If the Most High know your heart, but try to put some effort into it. You did in the world. You put effort into your Christmas tree. You was putting all the decorations on top of it, singing jingle bells. You had your stockings on your wall. You did all that folly.
We had a Griswold Christmas.
Yeah, you put the biggest star on the top of your tree. Whether you put a 6 point, a 5 point. You done did all of that. What they call the tinsels? You throwing the tinsels. That's what they call, right? The little gray things. Tinsels. What they call?
A mistletoe?
Nah.
You talking about the silver thing?
Yeah, the silver.
It's supposed to be like ice. What it is, you just throw that on the tree.
Yeah, and you doing it, and you all in a jolly mood.
Hey, extra flare.
That's right. You flipping the wrist, all in a jolly mood.
Hey, Salaki, ain't nobody did that. There ain't no nigga did that. You dancing around the tree.
You ain't probably you probably ain't physically do it, but you was sitting there enjoying the vibes with your woman or your mother. You know what I'm saying? Watch your mama do it, watch your auntie do it, depending on how you grew up. You did all that. Thanksgiving dinner too. Thanksgiving dinner, y'all went crazy. Mama tell you wash the dishes, getting ready because all the family coming over grandma's house.
Right.
And you over there sweeping and mopping and you
Right.
singing songs.
You got the Bill Cosby sweat on.
And y'all old, right. And y'all old school Judas is doing them hymns. You know what I'm saying? Doing them damn hymns. So you put all that effort for the world, man. Put something for the Most High.
God.
The Most High know your thoughts, man. If you can afford to bring a keg of beer, bring that keg of wheat, man. We gonna drink that. Even if we don't drink it, bring something. All right, but try to bring the best, man. Try to bring some, like I didn't bring one rib. I brought a couple packs of ribs. So we ain't gonna ask how much is one rib. You know what I'm saying? We ain't do the Chris Rock. A couple ribs.
Get one rib.
All right. So we're gonna close it out with Exodus 34 and 26. Exodus 34 and 26. No, we ain't gonna close. We're gonna go to Acts and close it out. Exodus 34 and 26.
This is Exodus chapter 34, verse 26. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God Yahweh. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
Can't have no cheeseburgers.
Right. So
Yeah, that's what they trying to
that's,
say.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Can't have no
You want to break that down? Go ahead.
That's not talking about
Right.
you can't eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, dog.
All right, because we understand that our forefather Isaac loved to eat venison and milk. So that's talking about you can't kill a young kid that's still feeding off his mother.
God.
God.
And that's just to show you that's the compassion the Most High have also on the animals, because when the baby's still on the milk, you know that they still got that connection with the mother, and also you ain't get the full nutrients until it finished getting milk from the mother also. You see, but it's a whole different dynamic the way the Most High move with certain things, man. You know, so he cares for his animals, and he wants you to have a full nutrition meal. You know, he wants you to get everything you can get out of it. All right, so let's go to Acts, the second chapter. Because this is where the Pentecost really came in, and through the Greek, where that name, you know, part of the scriptures with the Greek. But something special and something crazy. According to the Christians, it's crazy. It looks crazy with what they do and how they replicate it. But this is what happened during the Pentecost. All right, and how they mistranslate it and make it look crazy. All right, go ahead. Start from the first verse.
This is Acts chapter 2, verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance.
Now, for not for the brothers that been in here for a while, but one of the new brothers. Do y'all know what it's speaking about when he's speaking about the tongues? Any of y'all new brothers? Not your brothers that been here. Please don't call out. New brothers.
Speaking different languages.
Come. Tongues in Spanish is called lengua. So when you speak in lengua, different lenguas is different languages. That's what lengua means. It means tongues and languages. So they were speaking, the Most High put that spirit on them for them. They didn't speak these things. They didn't know how to speak, but the Most High put that spirit in them to just start speaking it. You know? So this ain't the hooga booga or you get. This ain't that. But this thing was something special. And this is when the apostles and the disciples they got some of this spiritual power. That's what happened during the Feast of Pentecost. They was all there, one accord. All right. They all kept it. They kept the feast. They kept the laws. All right. But the Christians take this. They count 50 days, I believe, after Easter. That's where they get Pentecost from. They do it after Easter. I don't know about 50 days, but they do it after Easter also. So they take our stuff and pollute it, man. They take the Most High's days and pollute it. Go ahead.
Con. This is verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under the heaven.
So it was men of every nation. We came out of everything. You had Israelites coming out of Ethiopia. Israelites coming out of India. Israelites coming out of the Gaza, Palestine, because we were scattered to the four corners of the earth. That was a curse that the Most High did to us. So we're gonna come back from these walks of life. You're gonna have brothers looking Chinese, man.
God.
You know, and you gonna tell them, man. A lot of y'all going to tell them, nah, you don't want to see them. You don't want them in the camp. But you let a brother, we let him in, and because he said his father's an Israelite. Hey, you gonna have brothers? Yo, I don't know about that brother, man. I don't know about that brother. You know what I mean? I don't know, but he looked too pale. His eyes too slanted, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He might be a Moabite. He might be so and that's the way a lot of the apostles. That's how even Israel looked at the strangers. They looked at Israelites that they was caught up in being scattered through those four corners of the earth. So they mingled with the nations, but they was Israelites. So you looking at them and you have a problem with that. You're like, nah, get this Gentile away from us. But that's the way the Most High gonna have these when He gathers us. That's the way we gonna become looking. You have your hand up?
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, come.
Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? Parthians, and Medes, and Elamites, and dwellers in Mesopotamia, and Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, and Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya and Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, and Jews and proselytes, Cretans and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues and wonder for works of God.
Yeah, this is what Pastor Lynn brought up to the to Brother Naquan before, David Lynn, before they locked him up. He tried to argue this point. You see, this is where the Christians err, man. The Christians, and this is simple, man. If you just read it slowly, you'll get it. But a lot of times people just rush through it, and not only that, the Most High just got a veil over their eyes. Cause that dude would be powerful, man, if the Most High brought that man in, because he could teach, he can talk. The Most High bring, and I can see eventually, because the man he was talking to him with fringes on.
Yeah, he wear fringes now.
Yeah. So what you wearing fringes if you ain't got to keep the law and you don't consider yourself an Israelite?
You trying to be like Paul.
He didn't start that until he met Israelites.
Right.
But
His father is the Edomite, though.
Oh.
He's still an Edomite. It don't matter
How is
many
this?
friends
You seen his father? Did he say it?
Yeah, they the Sakari done pulled it up last night.
Last night?
Yeah.
I didn't see a picture of his father. They showed the picture of his father.
Not a
It
picture.
was an old video.
They showed old videos though.
The brother from Toronto I think he's an Issachar. He did a lot of research on it, and come to find out that
Now you got I gotta see the proof. I gotta see the proof. Cause the man.
We ain't seen Gorilla Hebrew picture from father picture.
No,
we did. Yeah, he put him up.
Oh, God.
too. Him and his mom.
Yeah, but even a picture though, man. You know what I'm saying? A picture don't mean a damn thing. Like we seeing it right here. A picture don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gonna know who your father. If you don't know, unless you don't know your father, you're gonna know what he is. You understand? If he was in your life, you're gonna know what he was. But this is just to show you, this is where the Christians are. They going from this being Ooga Booga or Yuga to every nation can be saved. So they fumbled the ball twice in Acts the 2nd chapter. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 12. And they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, what meaneth this? Others mocking said, these men are full of new wine.
Right. They was mocking. They said, man, these cats is drunk, man. They never seen nothing like that. These cats is drunk. They don't know what the hell are they talking about. But imagine when you see, that's the way we look at the Christians. They look like they drunk with demons. We know that ain't no damn language. You know, certain language we've been around. Like I've been around Russians. I could tell if the dialect is Russian. I know what Arabic sound like. I don't know the words. I know what you know. I don't know whether it's Chinese or Korean, but I know it's Asian. You know, we know certain things, certain dialects. We could tell where it's coming from. But what they say in the Christian church, that ain't no damn language. We know that ain't no language. That's just straight babble. You see, so they're drunk. They are drunk, and they not drunk with wine. They drunk with spirits. All right, go ahead.
But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken to my words. For these are not drunken, as ye suppose, seeing it is but the third hour of the day. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Lord, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
And remember, like we always saying, during these feast days, is always something going on. From the Passover, till now, look at how many spirits bugged out during the Passover week. Look how many cats went crazy during the Passover week. And from then till now, look at how this everything that's happening. You got World War III brewing. You got more police shootings. These spirits is rising up. A lot of things is happening within the body of Israel also. Not the camp, but all the camps, the whole nation. There's many things going on. I see a lot of GoFundMe's for RIPs. A lot of people dying. You know, a lot of people dying in this truth. But the brothers that's on the highways and byways too. Yeah, one brother recently, you know, he got shot and died. And this is a brother that put in work in Israel for a long time. You know, we don't know why that happened, but you know, things happen, man. The Most High judgment is real. Then you have the you know, now they got the vaccine, and they telling you could take your mask off during this feast. Now this is the time of the first fruit, so these are gonna be the first fruits of people taking their mask off. We're gonna see how this turn out this winter. See if they start upping these cases, or now they transformation they mutated this virus to a different higher level. You know what I mean? So a lot of things has happened. We living in prophetic times, but through all these feast days, pay attention. There's prophecy unfolding, and that's what he's talking about. Also, these are not drunk men, but Joel, the prophet Joel, spoke about this. These are the days where he's gonna pour his spirit upon men. You know, you got brothers getting locked up. You got different things happening. You know, certain things can you you look at it from the outside looking in, you be like, damn, it could have been avoided, but no, it can't. It's the Most High's will. That's the way the Most High intended it to be. So we're gonna drop that real quick, and anybody got any questions on the Feast of Pentecost, on the Feast of Weeks, First Fruits? Any questions before we drop this subject? All right. No questions. Gone. So that's in a nutshell. There's more scriptures we can go into, but that's a nutshell of the first fruits. Yahweh Shai represents the first fruits of the Most High in the physical and the spiritual form. We have to sacrifice our first fruit the way He sacrificed His first fruit. Okay, that's the symbolism to it, and that's where we're at. So now, this is you know, I called the brother. He and as I said, it's kind of dope when you having these type of arguments with your children. You know what I'm saying? The brother was arguing with his son about Solomon being Yahweh Shai or him not being Yahweh Shai.
Hold on, let me get brothers allegiance.
Sure,
There you go,
sure.
special folks. Go get him. Go get him.
Yeah, I think he's on the other grill, putting the other meats up there on the smoker.
You got them Dodgers.
But now now to be honest, we're gonna go into it, and it's good to know, and it's needed at some times, just for certain understanding and certain edification is needed. But before we go in this and after we go in this, it does not determine your salvation. You know what I'm saying? It's good to know, especially when you see certain things, so you don't stumble upon it. You know, and dealing with the Old Testament Israelites, it's good to understand this because they'll trick you up there. They'll trip you on this. You know, they'll trip you on it. But we're gonna go into he's coming on.
I don't know, man.
All right, so he get the playback. That's why it's being recorded. Second Samuel. We're gonna start from Second Samuel's 7 and 8. Start from the 8th verse, and then we're gonna go down. I wish we had two mics. We doing a Nas. We got one mic. It's kind of annoying passing the mic. Brothers ain't bring no batteries for the other mic. Got it?
This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 8. Now, therefore, shalt thou say unto my servant David, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep to be a ruler over my people, over Israel. And I was with thee, whithersoever thou wantest, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth.
So this is the Most High speaking to David. He made him out of nothing. He was a sheep herder. All right, he was playing with the sheep. You know, but David was he had that spirit on him because he killed what was it, a lion and a bear, protecting the sheep. So you know that's not a hireling. He worked. I believe it was for his father. His father's Jesse's sheep. So he was not a hireling. That was part of his stuff. That's why when the scriptures speak about the hireling, it show you that they don't really care. They just there to do their job. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And I was with thee. Salakia, verse 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more, as before times.
So has that happened? Did Are we in a place that we will never be moved? Not yet, right? Not yet. But we there was a place established. We're gonna see that now. There was a place established. You know, we had a piece of the pie, but we ain't get the whole thing. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And as since the time I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thy enemies. Also the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom.
Right, and he shall establish his kingdom. So now, what kingdom is he speaking of? Anybody know?
Kingdom of Israel.
The kingdom.
Selection.
Go ahead.
Kingdom of heaven.
Right, but it's speaking about the everlasting kingdom.
Right.
All right, it's going to show you. Go ahead.
Hold on, Selection. Before you move on, it also shows that in verse 12 that you just reading, it also shows that it can't be talking about David because it said it's going to be his seed. Some of the OT only be trying to say it's David.
Right.
But it said his seed.
Yeah, that's a doctrine that they use that David's coming back.
Yeah.
But the kingdom was promised to David's seed.
God.
It wasn't promised to David. The house was built, but David ain't built it.
Right.
David will be back, but it ain't gonna be his kingdom. It's gonna be the kingdom of his loins and the kingdom of his tribe that's gonna rule it. All right, go ahead.
He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
Right. So it's speaking about forever. So now, if it's Solomon, because Solomon did rule after Yahweh, after David, but his kingdom lasted how many years?
40 years.
40 years. So he didn't have an everlasting kingdom, right? Y'all with me? All right, go ahead.
I will be his father, and he shall be my son.
Now before we read any more of that, let's jump real quick. We're gonna jump to Hebrews, so you can get a little bit more understanding of that part of that verse. Hebrews 1 and 5. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 5. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 1, verse 5. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son?
So, to what angels did he call his son? See, this is the link up. This is talking about Yahweh Shai. It's going to furthermore prove it once we read the rest of the scripture. Go ahead. Go back to 2 Samuel.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men.
Now, what did Solomon go off for? Anybody? Well, not the Briggs brothers. Let's just tell them that they don't count. Don't say nothing. All right. Anybody else? What did Solomon do? What did he commit? What sin did he commit?
Chasing other gods.
Oh yeah, con.
So what was he?
Idolaters.
An idolater, right? So how did how did Solomon get beaten with stripes?
Never
Did he ever get that punishment?
La
He died in peace.
He died.
Right. And the kingdom didn't split until when?
Yearable. Real.
Reable.
Solomon was off. Solomon ain't see that. Solomon ain't see the split of Israel. You see? So he died technically in peace. So when did this happen? Let's jump to we're gonna jump to Isaiah 53. We can start from to the fourth, and then we're gonna jump to Luke.
Salaki.
Come.
Verse you was just reading, that was
Yeah, we're gonna hold Second Samuel's the book.
yeah, cause I didn't see the strikes part. That's not messing.
Yeah, that's Second Samuel's
Okay.
7:14.
7:14. Okay.
So he never got his punishment. Just like and we're not gonna go into it because then we're gonna go into the whole regeneration.
Yeah.
But Job, when you really go into it, Job went through what he went through for something. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Job went through the Most High, he ain't gonna put you through. Yeah, it's gonna be a test, but it's always judgment once you understand it. All right, let's go to Isaiah.
Verse 3.
53 and 4.
This is Isaiah chapter 53, verse 4. Surely he hath bore our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed.
Right. So now it sounds like he's not getting beaten for his stripes. He's getting beaten for our stripes. Right. But this is where it gets tricky, because when you understand, when you read the scriptures, we get visited for the second, the third, and fourth generation, right? When you read that, it tells you also in the book of what is it? It tells you in Ezekiel, was it 8 and 20, that the you're not gonna pay for the sins of your fathers. You don't pay for the sins of your fathers, right? It tells you that you pay for your own sin. Because the secret to it, we're not gonna get it. I'm just gonna leave you with it. We are our fathers. We are paying for our own sins. All right, but keep reading in Isaiah. Read to the 9th verse.
Verse 6. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way. And the Lord God Yahweh hath laid on him the iniquity of all of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before the shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth.
He didn't open his mouth because he knew what he had to do, and he knew what he did. What he did, he knew what he had to do. He knew what he did as well. So we're not gonna read to the 9th verse. Matter of fact, go to Luke 12. Luke 12 and 47.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord will and prepare not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
Right. So that, and that's Yahushua explaining it. You see, so if you get caught not doing your job, even on the regular job, what you get written up, you get sent home. You can't get beaten. I mean, in slavery we did, not in modern day slavery. Okay, so this is lining up with First Samuel. Go ahead.
But he that knew not and committed things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
Right.
For unto whom much is given, of him shall be required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more.
Now you watch the Passion of Christ, man. That was brutal. No man on this earth has suffered the way Yahushua went through. Why? Because he knew better. So he got his ass whipped. The Most High chastened him. That's why what the Christians saying is what? WWJD? What would Jesus do? In certain affliction? These this is the ass whipping that he couldn't avoid. And he had to get that ass whipping because he knew better. The Most High gave him all the wisdom damn near in the world, all the understanding. Solomon could speak to animals. He could speak to the damn dog and have a conversation with him or understand him. I don't know if he could probably talk. I know he could understand him. Huh? Yeah, yeah. He's speaking to him. I mean, I don't. How you going? You know, you're going. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, but the Most High gave him that. So, and then he gave you all of the. He didn't ask for none of that. All he asked was for the wisdom for his people. The Most High gave him everything. He gave him women. He gave him looks. Because when he came back, he wasn't comely. It'll tell you that in Isaiah 53.
There was no comeliness defined desire in him. No?
Yeah, Yahushua wasn't somebody that a sister be like, oh, he fine.
And he was good.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't fine. Now Solomon was fine. He gave him looks. He gave him looks. He was bragging. You know, he gave him the total opposite.
So he was like damn Stephon and damn Steve Urkel.
Yeah. Yeah.
He kind of came back, you know.
Right. And then from 1,000 women, from 1,000 women to none.
Yeah, to none. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. No, back to
Shalakia,
Gun.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
Bring it up.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 27. Who needed not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sins, and then for the people. For this he did once, when he offered up himself.
Right.
So you got to realize, when did Yahushua sin? He didn't sin as Christ. He sinned as Solomon.
Right. When you
He died on the cross.
when you
on the tree.
you get the full
You didn't make it right there.
That was Hebrews 7.
yeah, you get the full total understanding of who Yahushua and what he was and his job and his position when you read the whole book of Hebrews. Hebrews gives the understanding that the Old Testament lack. The Old Testament only lack. Hebrews brings it all home. The whole book. I advise every brother, especially if you're dealing with some Old Testament only, to read the whole book of Hebrews, or sisters, to read the whole book of Hebrews to get that full understanding of what Yahushua's position was, so they don't take you off your pivot foot, have you traveling.
What was that precept?
Hebrews 7
Book
to
of
27.
Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 27. Because you know they always say Christ never sinned. Christ never sinned, never sinned. But when they read
No,
this verse, they be
in that
confounded.
life he didn't. No. Right. He didn't sin as Yahweh Shai. I tell you that in Hebrews the first chapter. All right. Let's go real quick. We're gonna go back to Second Samuel's, but let's go to First Peter. First Peter 2:21.
This is First Peter's chapter 2, verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness.
No, you're not reading First Peter.
Oh, it's Second Peter's. This is First Peter's chapter 2, verse 21. For even hereon, too, were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
There you go again. He did no sin, and neither was guile found in his mouth, because he didn't speak back. He ain't say, man, F you damn Romans, man. Because imagine that you going through all of that, and you know you're going to get put to death. How many of y'all going to go out with, if you know you're going to go out like that, you might as well spit at one of them, or try to gouge one of their eyes out.
And he had the power too.
Right, and he had the power to. You gonna go for something. You gonna curse somebody, man? F your mother, nigga. You gonna kill me anyway.
Salakia. He did cuss out Herod, man.
He
He called him a
viper and
fox, a
snake.
damn viper, all
But that was
kinds.
because he killed John.
Yeah, that wasn't when it was his time to go though.
Yeah,
That was a different. Yeah, that's a.
he said, "You tell that fox."
Right.
God.
But that was speaking because, like he said, that was when he killed John the Baptist. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he went off on him for that, but he took his ass whipping like a man.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? And like a very, very powerful man, because like I said, if you going out like that, I'ma definitely spit at one of them Romans' faces. You know what I'm saying? At least, Dewey, kill me now. You know what I'm saying? Or
Anyway.
I tell them, you know, you ever watch one of the movies when they say, "Come here, man. Let me tell you something." You know what I'm saying? SMD, nigga, in his ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna say something. F your mother. Suck your mother. All right.
Second Samuel.
Yeah. No, First Peter still. We're gonna read to the 24th verse.
Who suffered when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, because committing himself to him that judgeth righteously.
Right. He committed himself to who? To the Most High. The Most High judges righteously. He understood his judgment, and he understood what he was there for. Okay, go ahead.
Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed.
So there go with them stripes again. So by those stripes we was healed. So he had to fall. And we're not gonna go into how he was Adam. You know, but when you look at the whole spectrum, Yahweh Shai, as he came as all those places, like Adam. Adam had everything. He had the kingdom. He fell, right? And it was by one man, the whole kingdom fell, right? Solomon, again, one man, the whole kingdom fell. See, Adam had it spiritual. He had the kingdom spiritual and physical, but it was more of a spiritual, godly domain. You see what I'm saying? Everything Solomon, everything Solomon knew or prayed for, Adam didn't have to pray for it. The Most High gave it to him off the rip. You see? So now when Solomon prayed for it, now he got 40 years of it. He got 40 years of that kingdom life, that taste. And then now and also Solomon built the first temple. Yahweh Shah says he's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the last. So who gonna build the last temple? Yahweh Shah. It's only right. You see? So, and that's another thing. Yeah, it's like a Superman story. We fell by the hands of one man. We fell from grace by the hands of one man, and we will be redeemed by that one man. Nobody else will redeem us. We all watering and planting the seeds, but ultimately the Most High gets the glory, and he's going to pass it down to Yahweh Shai. All right, let's go back to 1 Samuel.
This is 1 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 14. Salakis, this is 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee.
Right. He took it away from Saul, but Saul completely, that's it. It's over. Saul be back, but he gonna have to come back as a baby. I mean, he's out here in the world because you see there's a house of Saul, wicked Israelites.
But he ain't getting no second shot.
Right. He not getting that second shot at until he come back and be regenerated. Shalom, okay? All right? He be regenerated. But it tells you here, it says, but his mercy shall not depart away from him. So the whole time Yahweh Shah was going through what he was dealing with, that mercy ain't never depart from him. The Most High still, and he was still talking to the Most High while he was up there. And what he was doing, he wasn't being selfish. He said, Father, forgive them for they not know what he do. He was still thinking about us, man. You see? So, go ahead to 16 verse. This is another kicker right here.
Verse 16, and thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever.
So it can't be Solomon. Because if it was Solomon, right then and there, that it's over. We have 40 years of it. It can't be Solomon. But it is Solomon. It can't be Solomon, but it is Solomon. If you can see it. Now, it ain't for everybody. Some people probably fight it, but it don't make sense no other way around.
That's why the Most High say if you could receive it.
Come. But once again, like I said before, and I'm going to say it after, once you get this understanding, it doesn't determine your salvation. But there is deep sayings that brothers and sisters can go into for more edification and for more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But don't get puffed up. Don't let it go to your head. Somebody had their hand up?
Shalak,
Come.
precept.
Go ahead,
This is the whole regeneration. Second Esdras,
Yeah.
chapter 14.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go into that
Now I'm
right
just
now.
going with my precept. Now I'm done for tonight.
Go ahead.
Second Esdras 14:35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So after we die, then you got the judgment, then you got to be sentenced. You got to go do your sentence, just like regular. You got to
Right.
do your 20 years.
Yeah,
That was it.
come.
All right, God.
All right, go to the because I got a whole joint on regeneration, but I'm not gonna go into it. We're gonna be here till on Priest of Box time.
Yes.
Go ahead. Next scripture.
Two more scriptures that went it down.
17.
According to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David.
All right. So Nathan gave this vision to David. Now let's go real quick to 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 11. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 11.
This is 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 11. And Yahweh said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor have asked the life of thine enemies, but have asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
Right. So that's what Solomon prayed for. Like you watch them shows, you watch Aladdin, you watch them shows, the cartoons as a kid when the genie appeared from the lamp. How many of y'all say, I wish I found me a genie? I'm gonna ask him for $1 million. I'm gonna ask him to be a millionaire. That's the first thing that pop up in a child's mind, especially if they was raised poor. You see? So you're not thinking like Solomon was. Still to this day, what do you pray for? Don't explain it, but you got to ask yourself, what are you praying for? Are you praying for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? Are you praying to heal your people? And that's how you heal your people, with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Are you praying for these type of things? Because the Most High blessed them with everything his heart ain't even desired. But it did. But it didn't. All the stuff that you deep down you know you want. How many brothers in here gonna say they wouldn't want 1,000 wives in order? You know what I'm saying? A kingdom at peace where you could let your children run outside, and you know ain't nobody gonna molest them, ain't nobody gonna shoot them, ain't nobody gonna sex traffic them, ain't nobody gonna steal their organs, ain't gonna be none of that. They don't gotta wear no damn masks. You know.
Right.
That's what you should want. That's what the kingdom is. You know, even spiritual power. These things come with that. When you get that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. I want the kingdom because my wife tell me this all the time. She want to go to the kingdom so she could travel the world, the whole earth. She wants to travel the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? And I never thought of that, but when she planted that seed in my mind, I want to travel the whole damn earth too. And I don't want to do it on Delta Airlines. These are them higher things, man. And the Most High gave all of that to Solomon, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 12, behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
So that got to be crazy. So that means Solomon was greater than Yahushua? If it tell you that Yahushua was the greatest of them all, it tell you that in Hebrews, the 1st chapter.
And he had a spirit without measure, too.
Right, a spirit without measure. Higher than the angels. Higher than everything. So right here, technically that would be a contradiction. No, he was speaking to Yahushua. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 13, and I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor So there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days.
Never be a king like him. And hopefully there's more we can go into, but hopefully y'all got that understanding. Yes, Yahweh Shai in regeneration was Solomon. We're not gonna go into him being Adam, but is easily done with the regeneration. And the scriptures also says in was it First Corinthians 14:32, it says the spirit of the prophets is subjected unto the prophets. So, and Yahweh, the scriptures tell you that he come in the volume of the book. So Yahweh Shah was here a couple of times. And the brother, when he asked me this, he said, would I put my life on it? I would put my life on Yahweh Shah being Adam and Solomon. But I won't with Isaac. But that's another breakdown. It sounds good, but I won't with Isaac. I'm not sure with that one.
Can I get they are now being look up
I had a question real quick. Was the whole point of the
look up
conversation that you
precept
had with the
about
brother?
greater Solomon and that.
Hold on.
Okay.
Two people speaking at one time. What you saying?
I just want to get precept. Well, you go ahead and ask your question now.
I was just asking, was the whole point of doing the Yahweh Shai Solomon because of not just regeneration, but was Christ without sin? Was that the point?
Yeah, pretty much.
Christ was without sin. Christ.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yahweh Shah didn't commit sin.
Right. Yeah.
As Yahweh Shah.
Right. As Yahweh Shai, he didn't commit sin. Right.
Come.
So when you read Matthew the 3rd chapter and verse 11, what was John doing? He was baptizing. What was he baptizing for? For repentance. What is repentance for?
Mhm.
Of sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Christ get baptized?
For our sin?
There
No.
you go.
No.
Sins of Solomon,
No.
man.
There you
No.
go,
No.
cuz. There you go.
No.
Christ came,
No. No.
Christ came for our sin. That's why he was
Got a
slain. He was the
Christian.
perfect lamb. That's why he was slain.
All right, that's
Right.
When you give a sacrifice to the Lord, it has to be without blemish.
So,
Y'all,
so
this is very unedifying.
So
I'm
wait
being honest, cuz
Yeah. Because he.
I'm just being honest with y'all. This is very unedifying right now.
In
'cause
Hebrews,
we got
it's-
new brothers here, and for us to be bringing this out right now, it's kind of.
In Hebrews,
Wait.
it said he had to suffer for himself and for the nation. So what did he need to repent from? Why did Christ himself need to be repentant? Matthew 3 says that he was baptized. What did he need to be baptized for? If baptizing is for repentance, what did he need to be baptized for? That's the point.
No, I'm saying, you're saying that.
wait, no, because we can't go back and forth now, because now it becomes unedifying.
All right, yeah, I'm done.
You got to watch the playback. You was on the smoker.
Nah,
You was over there cooking them ribs.
I wasn't on the smoke.
I just want to get one precept.
Yeah, Shema. Yeah, Shema. Get that precept out.
God. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 42.
Read it louder so people can hear it online.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 42. The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here.
A what?
A greater than Solomon is here.
Now it says a greater than in the English going to Greek. So when you read the Greek, it gives you a better understanding of what it says. If you go around and say, it's two things that's a problem. If you say Christ is the person that's going to come, and in 2 Samuel's, the 7th chapter, you got to understand the strickening. And if you just say he's perfect, yeah, he was perfect. We understand that. We know Christ was perfect while he walked on the earth. But just like in, I think it was like Acts, where it says the blind man, and they ask, yo, why is this man blind? Was it his father? He had to have something with that. Right? And when you go into the Greek, it gives you a greater understanding. Read the Greek.
You got it?
Yeah, read the Greek. What does it say in the Greek? in the English?
Right. It says,
Loud.
you want me to go to where it says Greater Solomon?
Yes, go straight there.
Okay. And it says, behold, greater Solomon here.
Does it say greater than or just a greater Solomon
It
here?
says, greater Solomon here.
Can I see that phone real quick? Right, so if you can understand, it says a greater Solomon here. So it doesn't say greater than Solomon, over Solomon. It says a greater Solomon here. So that's why it's very important to go into the Greek. It's very important to go into Hebrew, because you going with a Christian,
Right.
or you deal with other men who read this, and you not only when you deal with that stricken is very important, because if you deal with a Old Testament Israelite, you're gonna get smashed. You're gonna get crushed. You're gonna get crushed bad. You'll never convince them people if you don't understand this breakdown of Christ. That's why it's very important. Because if you go against an Old Testament Israelite, the first thing they're gonna say is that's a fake. You're worshiping a fake God. That's the first thing. They'll say Christ is a God, he's an idol, and you can't prove that he's the Hamashiach, because Hamashiach just means a Messiah. Moses is a Hamashiach. Moses, he's Hamashiach. David, Hamashiach. Any man that rose up to save and deliver Israel, Samson, Hamashiach. So they're saying, oh, at the end time, Ezekiel 37, this person, this shepherd that's supposed to come, he's Hamashiach, a savior. Doesn't mean it's Christ. You got to prove that, and that's how we prove it, whether you accept it or not. So I don't know if Chief got anything on, this lesson, or we're going to close it out and pray out.
Khan, and when you through the regeneration, you can, like, it's easy to prove that John the Baptist was Elijah. It's clear cut. So it's all of this is all through the scriptures. It's not for everybody, but we can go into this. Join the Tuesday night Iron Sharper Iron, and deal with the samurai Kwamwa Allah. You know what I'm saying? Get in there in the samurai room. He's sharpening your samurai swords.
Okay.
Every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time.
And also Central Time, 7 o'clock Central Time.
All right. So, I hopefully y'all got edified. And like I said, if it's not, if you don't see it, it's cool. It's not going to determine your salvation, but don't get tripped up by Old Testament, because they're gonna have you thinking that Yahweh Shai is an idol, and that you worshiping a false god, and we don't worship Yahweh Shai. You understand that? We worship the Most High in the name of Yahweh Shai. The Most High and Yahweh Shai are two different entities, but that's the reason for that also. You'll see it later down the road. You fall into that Old Testament trap. You're gonna have to go to Solomon ben Yahweh Shai. But any questions? No questions. No rebuttals.
I police put that light down.
Yeah. So we gonna set this prayers up. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Get the shower Paul. You blow the trumpet, brethren. Whoever got a trumpet, you gonna blow them.
Salaki, King. Let me go get the olives off, George.
Come. Yo, that thing looks
Seems
frozen.
low.
Go on out of here. You little rascal.
That thing frozen out.
What's wrong with it?
The live?
You gotta get it. Yeah, you gotta get it.
No, I was just it popped up and showed me I had 20%.
I'm gonna wait till you come back. I'm gonna get him. Get him, gotta get him.
Well, for those online, Shema, for those online, we hope you had a blessed feast of weeks, feast of first fruits. If you're celebrating another day, don't worry about it, as long as you're keeping it in truth and sincerity. The Most High knows your mind, which is your heart. So, we hope you have a blessed one. May it be fulfilled with the Spirit of the Most High through Yahweh Shai. And from the body of HOI, we wish a happy first fruit to all Israel throughout the four corners of the earth. And may the Most High continue to bring his judgment upon the evil heathen and those that hate and despise him and his children.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll talk more on the sideline. Brother said this ain't edifying.
It's not, cause I mean, we lost a brother to Old Testaments. If you think it's not,
Yeah. Now we lost a couple to Old Testaments.
yeah, cause that
I
Christ
seen
thing,
brothers
yeah.
lose their wives.
Oh man.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
believe H.O.I is the Messiah, so that's not even an issue with me.
Good.
It's just
I mean, I will hope everybody believes
Yeah, hope.
that
It was
he's
just
the Messiah here.
Yeah, it's just I couldn't believe he would be chasing gods. I mean, other gods at some point in time.
He did
That's
it.
the only point
He did
I
it.
had.
He did it.
The spirit is the spirit, though, right?
And
That's all I'm saying.
it just like the reason why, like I said, the spirit of the prophets subjected unto the prophets. It took us this long to get right.
But the scriptures
And
does.
we getting right every generation we come back. And that's what we doing now. Let's say, and well, let's hope not, but let's say Yahweh Shah don't come back for another 20 years, right? Another 40 years, another 50 years. We raising our children to be better than what we were. So by the time he come, most High willing, it ain't gonna take that damn long, but we gonna have 3-4 generations locked and loaded in this truth,
Yeah.
in this walk. And your kids are gonna bring you right back. And they're gonna bring back a better you because you're gonna be raised and trained from birth. So that's how we getting our identity back. The children are getting it now. They looking at all the kids in the schools like, nah, I'm not part of that alphabet mafia. You know what I'm saying? I'm not part of that. I'm not gonna eat the ham sandwich on the free lunch tray. I'm not gonna do certain things. They moving differently. So that's our job to get this generation and the generation after it to get it ready for the marriage.
Yeah.
That's our job, man. So believe it, it ain't going. We ain't doing this in vain, and we are perfecting our children to be the better generations in the future. So, and the more you train your child, the more righteous you gonna come back to this earth on. You know what I'm saying? You gonna come back super righteous. Cause imagine if all of us was raised from children, man. That's the blessing these kids that they don't know. And a lot of us, if we not in our right mind, we take that for granted. But that's something that's something special, man. That's right. That's something special. They ain't celebrating no damn Christmas. Never. Their whole life they ain't celebrating no Christmas.
Mom and dad in the house.
Right. Mother and father in the house. That's powerful, man.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? They not celebrating none of that. None of that. Never did it. They gonna be like, what's that? They gonna understand it when they get older, but they don't know what that is. They gonna be like, what? A Christmas tree? Daddy, that's a pine tree. You know what I'm saying? That's a pine tree. They put stuff on that tree. You know what he went to get? The oil?
Yeah, he wanted to get the oil.
I think the Most High brought out that light because we would have been finished out here.
Look at dark like our forefathers.
We would have been finished. And whoever brought that spray, may the Most High bless you in triple fold. Whoever brought that bug spray,
mosquitoes is no joke.
Con, you get that out? Oh, we got the big body karate, so
You get the family size, right?
If you could put it in a smaller cup or something, because we're gonna have to pour it on.
It's a couple people here, but we don't need that much. Yeah.
And everybody gets your anointing. Anybody got anything to add?
One thing we gotta remember, the scripture talks about saying that there will be no remembrance of the former times, right, or the former things. So when we come back on this earth through regeneration, that's where you get the understanding where it talks about in the New Testament that we get washed by the regeneration. You know, that's how we get washed. Because when we're so wicked in our past lives, some of us just finished, man. The Most High got to put us to death and start over because our minds are done. So we got to get a complete new start, and that's how we get washed through the regeneration. So, like, just imagine.
Is that good?
Nah, you should have brought the whole bottle then.
We're gonna need more oil. Yeah, put like a half a cup. Put like a half a cup. You don't got like a spoon? I could just scoop it. Put like a half a cup and I could just scoop it. Yeah, we're gonna do it like that. I usually got the spray, but I ain't gonna.
I know who's gonna bring it.
I ain't bringing spray.
Like, could you imagine like trying to convince King Ahab, trying to convince Saul, trying to convince Cain, trying to convince these men while they were living? You couldn't say. It'd be impossible. David tried. Like, these people were some hard, especially King Ahab. There were some hard-headed people on the earth. The Most High had to let them die so they could be regenerated. And in fact, you was damn sure not convincing Solomon. The Most High, if you read in 2 Kings, the Most High went to Solomon himself twice. So men got to be put to death, just like a lot of us. When you go into the New Testament, there's a first generation, the first fruits, who are going to be given a new body. They're going to have a new body, but they're going to still have that same spirit and remember, because they're going to be delivered out of Babylon. And then there's going to be that second generation, the dead ones that get reborn. What brothers don't understand? Oh, they don't. No, they just don't understand like regeneration and why it's important, because it's the same thing with certain Old Testament Israelites. One thing I noticed, they don't even believe in regeneration. They don't even know how David's going to come back. They just know that David's the Messiah. They don't even know how he's going to come back. Yeah, they can't even tell you Elijah can't come back. They just do away with the whole New Testament. Black people blood. Mosquitoes like the Israelite blood, man.
I'm in charge of they out here?
Israelite, mosquitoes, yeah, they out here.
Everybody line up. We're gonna do the women first. Women first, Bubba Kashar.
Women first, sisters. Shemai, Shemai.
Shemai, Shemai. Women first, Bubba Kashar. Come and get your anointing oil. If it starts to burn, that means the spirits are being exercised.
You're supposed to stand in a line. Don't go too far.
Everybody got their oil? Look like there's some people missing, right? We can make it ice.
I think.
She went to the store? So,
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna start from this way. That way, you know, when we're praying, y'all not repeating after us. Y'all praying in your subconscious in your mind and asking the Most High for what you need and what you're going through. Don't nobody else repeat. Just the brothers up here. Ayanya, you can repeat. And keep that in your mind. When we look at you, you say your name, or point at you, you say your name. We say your name, you say your name, and it goes back 3 times, back and forth 3 times. All right. Ya Baraka Yahweh.
Ya Baraka Yahweh.
Wa Yashamaraka.
Wa Yashamaraka.
Ya Al Yahweh.
Ya Al Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Auyaka.
Auyaka.
Wa Yakanka.
Wa Yachanka.
Yasha Yahweh.
Yasha Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Auyaka.
Auyaka.
Wa Yashamlaka.
Wa Yashamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham.
Basham.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Shema Ayel.
Shema Ayel.
Barak Rapah.
Barak Rapah.
Acedrica, 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 Tasha, 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 Catherine, 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 Sadasia, 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 Amitra, 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 Cynthia, 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 Nakwa, 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 Tasha, 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 Ayla, 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 Brittany, 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 the water, Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Now all the men and the men children. Oh.
Come from that way.
We got all the men?
No. Did y'all get it?
Go ahead, Brother Darius.
It's a lot of
I gotta
people.
believe everything somebody else believes.
We need more for the last. Who else got?
If you will receive it.
Yeah, one thing about it, it'll come in time.
That man need to be anointed.
That man need.
You gotta come together.
shit. Look like we off. Look like we off, right? Like we off, but they don't know. A lot of people.
Buffalo Penny.
We just thinking about that.
BBQ.
Texas drink. Is he coming? Brothers need these anointings, man. We need all the anointings we can get. You know, all the praise we can get.
Hey man, hey, it's a holy day, man. It's a high holy day. So what happened?
Bringing their first fruits in.
Too much testosterone. Too much testosterone.
Spirits, bro. They ain't testosterone, spirits. Those ain't it ain't testosterone, it's spirits, huh? Brother Demetrius, to the front of the line. You need to be anointed, brother. Come on, Doc. You gotta get them spirits off us, Doc. Come on, Doc.
There you go. Oh, crazy.
We already went through.
Yeah.
Wait on you.
All right, here we go. Come on, ready? Brothers, move back. So once again, just like with the sisters, y'all praying in your subconscious. When we point at you, when we look at you, we're gonna go from this side, was it right to left? And you say your name 3 times. You say it after us, but you're praying in your subconscious and asking the Most High for what you need, what you're going through, and you know, whatever you're dealing with. But y'all don't repeat after us. Y'all praying in your minds. All right? Ya Baraka Yahweh.
Ya Baraka Yahweh.
Wa Ya Shamaraka.
Wa Ya Shamaraka.
Ya Al Yahweh.
Ya Al Yahweh.
Ban Yahweh.
Ban Yahweh.
Al Yaka.
Al Yaka.
Wa Ya Kanka.
Wa Ya Kanka.
Yasha Yahweh.
Yasha Yahweh.
Ban Yahweh.
Ban Yahweh.
Al Yaka.
Al Yaka.
Wa Ya Shamlaka.
Wa Ya Shamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Shema Ayel.
Shema Ayel.
Barak Rapah.
Barak Rapah.
Brother said. Oh, Cedric.
Cedric. Cedric.
You gotta say it 3 times, huh?
I do. Oh,
Cedric?
Yes. Cedric.
Cedric.
Cedric. Cedric.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna go to the next.
Marcus.
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 Nabia.
Nabia. Nabia.
Caleb.
Caleb.
Yakazak Allah. Yakazak Allah. Yakazak Allah. Quran. The Rock. Hassan. Kanawat. Lamak. Ryan Gabar. Yaikwa.
Yashe.
Jackson. Jaden. Kwamwala. Demetrius. Dewada. Salak.
So it's us. Ayanya.
Amaf Pagai.
Shawapar,
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 Shah Sha'al,
Shah Sha'al,
Shah Sha'al,
Shah Sha'al,
Shah Sha'al,
Shah Sha'al, the water, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Amen. So we're gonna close out with prayer. Everybody with a ram's horn.